The red-hot fight over immigration enforcement hitting closer to home. President Trump ordering ICE to focus their efforts on sanctuary cities and states, specifically, quote, Democrat-run cities. Less than an hour ago, Governor Tina Kotek responded with her own suggestion, focus on threats to the community.
The back and forth coming less than 2 days after 50,000 people flooded Portland streets to protest the president's policies.
The governor pointing to those peaceful protests despite a handful of arrests outside the ICE building in South Portland. Police declared a riot on Saturday night.
K2 is on your side with complete coverage of the developing situation here in Portland and across the country. We'll break down the charges those suspects arrested outside the ICE facility face. And we'll hear directly from neighbors about the impact of the violence and the vandalism, plus how Oregon Governor Tina Kotek is responding to the possibility of stepped-up enforcement in the state and the pressure President Trump is beginning to feel from Republicans over who ICE is targeting.
Our team coverage starts right now. K2's Steve Dunn is in the studio. National correspondent Matt Gelka is in Washington.
We begin with K2's Joe English, who's live outside the Portland ICE facility right now. And Joe, the camp outside that building was swept today, but it sounds like protesters aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, certainly not far away. The protesters moved only a couple of blocks away from the ICE facility on Southwest Macadam Avenue. We are seeing another small group forming this afternoon, but enforcement cleared out the camps around 7 o'clock this morning. That discouraged most of the protesters during the day, but not one who ended up tangling with DHS agents. Crews were busy Monday morning boarding up the front of the ICE building in Southwest Portland. On his lunch hour, Ivan V. says he came out to take a stand against ICE. He was on his own after the area had been cleared.
There's a lot of things happening in the world right now that make me feel scared, but I know that I don't have the automatic fear of getting swept up and having my citizenship status questioned by any means.
But while he was protesting, he wasn't standing. He was taken to the ground, stepping over the lines, going from the sidewalk to the ICE driveway by Department of Human Services agents who wrestled with him and chased him, tased him twice, but he got away. Gentlemen, why did you go after that guy?
Talk to PIO.
A PIO means Public Information Officer, but we haven't heard anything from them yet. People who live near the ICE building say the protests are getting to them.
Oh, it's been chaos, and it started off with old people demonstrating against Trump and Musk, and then it changed to young people, and the young people were filthy and dirty and swearing and everything else.
Rick Dean was here for the protests in 2020, which he says much worse. He came by to see what ICE was doing today.
Yeah, if they want to save their building, I don't know what these people would do. It gets pretty violent every once in a while.
Businesses nearby have signs in the windows asking for protesters to leave their building alone, and the protesters who had to move down the block say they don't have plans to go anywhere else.
I think the Portland Police Department is not upholding being a sanctuary city. They are helping DHS, whether it's pulling over cars that are dropping off supplies that are just random civilians.
Now, both Portland Police Chief Bob Day and Mayor Keith Wilson say they are standing behind the city's sanctuary city policy, and they are not cooperating with ICE in immigration enforcement in any way. In Southwest Portland, Joe English, K2 News.
Joe, thank you so much. Demonstrators arrested outside that ICE facility are now making their way through court. Portland police and the FBI have arrested at least 17 people over the past 5 days. This is Portland Mayor Keith Wilson indicates more arrests could be coming in the coming days.
Here's what to know about those cases making their way through Multnomah County Court. The bulk of the people arrested this weekend face charges like interfering with a peace officer, criminal mischief, resisting arrest, and harassment. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson released a statement suggesting there could be more arrests over Saturday's demonstration at the facility.
His team sent us a statement yesterday, reading in part, even when arrests do not happen in the moment, PPB members will continue to conduct follow-up investigations, make arrests, and forward cases to the Multnomah County District Attorney for prosecution. The statement also noted the vast majority of people in Saturday's protests were peaceful.
Most of those people are in the cities. all blue cities, all Democrat-run cities, and they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
President Trump changing up his deportation orders again. He's narrowing his focus to undocumented migrants in Democrat-run cities, specifically calling out places with sanctuary policies.
As many of you know, Portland is a sanctuary city. Oregon is a sanctuary state.
K2's Steve Dunn joins us in studio now. And Steve, in the last hour, Governor Tina Kotek addressed this apparent change in tactic.
She did. The governor told reporters she doesn't take kindly to the federal government, quote, picking on particular cities. She says ICE should be focusing on potential threats to the community instead of wholesale deportations.
I would urge the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security to focus on folks who are actually a danger to communities. And here in Oregon, I think we understand that the immigrant communities here contribute, have the right to live safely, and that economically we're all better off when folks can just go about their daily lives.
Now, Kotek maintained Oregon's sanctuary status and said local law enforcement will follow state law when it comes to any enforcement action. Now, whether Portland is actually on the president's list for increasing ICE enforcement, that's still up in the air tonight. K2, of course, will continue to monitor the situation, bring you new information as we get it. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Steve. And stay with K2 News as we continue to track immigration actions at the federal level, as well as local protests and arrests. When we're not on the air, you can find coverage at K2.com and on the K2 News app.